Hey, yo, this is Colin with Life Logos. We are going to get into a bit of a Bible study today. So strap yourself in. Before I get to it, I have to say this. I'm a very difficult person to debate. I am a Christian, as you all know. This isn't a Christianity podcast. I oftentimes talk about my own psychological and spiritual dilemmas that are the barriers that I'm hitting on the road to pursuing my dream. The dream, truthfully, is self actualization into self transcendence. And the reason we talk about all of these things so much is because a lot of the battles fought in this journey are oftentimes started right here. And that's why you all get my soft therapy sessions. I am thinking, or have been thinking rather, for the last few days about the grand totality of all of the things that we are doing. Now, I am a person with ADHD and a starting problem. And by that, I mean, if you all catch this reference, there was a show called Jimmy Neutron on the show back in the day. And there was a character named Finbar Calamitous, and he would start things and never finish them. And I'm great at starting things, terrible at finishing them. I am Finbar Calamitous, the unfinishing enemy of the genius child. When you really think about it, they are the same person, except for one finishes things and one doesn't. I've started a lot of projects this year: marketing business, recruiting staffing business, a book publishing business, mobile video, started applying for a TED Talk. I'm halfway through a master's program all at the same time, which is a lot. Now that I say it out loud, it's like that's dumb. Why did you start so many businesses and a master's at the same time? I realized today that I've allowed myself to become subject to the tyranny of my own unbridled curiosity. And what that I mean is I let myself get curious and start things without finishing them, essentially. I'm still burdened by them. They need to get finished. I need to create these things and hand them off. And typically when I create them and hand them off, that people are very good at running with whatever I give them, which is great. Which looks like that's going to be the marketing business here very soon. I realize that one, when starting so many things, all of which do feed back into the dream, ironically enough, doing a lot of things is very difficult because you can't get any one of those things done particularly well if your attention is split between four things. Thus, why I try my best to hand them off to people who can focus on them. And I still have my hand in a lot. And I realized over the course of the last month, my mental health started to degrade again. And I've really been in a rut these last few weeks, the depth of the rut. I'm coming out of it now because I'm making some life decisions differently for the best. And I ended up in a conversation yesterday, as you likely have seen from the previous video, with my mother. And we got into a conversation about women because now I'm the only one in the family who's not married, no serious prospects right now. And that is the trigger for me. Um, that's, I can keep it together. I'm mostly level all the time. And most of the time I can maintain that poise both in conversation and in person, despite the calamities that are going on around me. Because that I've always wanted to, and a partner. And before I get too deep into it, that didn't come true. So I just taught myself to not want the thing that I most needed. And that turned into, well, if that's never going to happen, never anything else isn't going to happen. And it becomes this downward spiral of catastrophizing improperly and without reason. And that happens typically when I don't see a lot of progress, because my answer to the depressive, nihilistic cynicism is even minuscule forward progress. Now, again, forward progress is very difficult when you're spread so thin, which doesn't help my case at all. But I was getting to a point where I wasn't getting a lot of progress, and the cynicism was setting in. And I realized that that is the result of burnout. It's burnout because I don't rest. I work, and by and large, especially these last few weeks, it was really setting up and establishing the marketing business to just run. And it is actually it's getting its first steps well ahead of what I would have expected. But that took a lot, in addition to doing the master's program, which takes a lot. It takes your weekends where you mostly rest. So that's a lot. And I haven't really focused as much on the recruiting business as I should have. I'm reorienting back to that now. I will be doing that largely by myself for a while, but that's okay. The video game is off being designed by the video game designer, and the book is being edited by the editor. For the first time, perhaps in months, if not years, I find myself in a position where I actually do have the opportunity to rest. And it is not easy going from trying to run 1,000 miles in every direction, probably running 10 in 6 different directions, to it is time to be still. And I really did inappropriately kind of blow up on my mom because she's asking me these questions. We're having this conversation about God showing up, what I consider God showing up. And she believes God's always there, which he is, according to his word. He's always there. You don't always see him, but I want God to move at my pace and show up when I need him to show up, which is out of order, to say the least. You don't tell your mom when she's going to feed you. If you're a child, understand. I am in no position to tell God when he needs to show up. And I felt like he wasn't showing up. I was waiting for him to show up. There is a young woman on my team. Her name is Razak. Razak is, if she ever sees this, angel incarnate. I'm actually quite blown away by how amazing Razak is. Regularly, she is both calming and steady and wise and just an amazing human. Amazing. Wow. We were talking the other day, and she lives in India. She's not a Christian. She's spiritual, but we end up talking on the same wavelength most of the time. And oftentimes when she talks to me, she tells me things that I need to hear, even though she doesn't know that I need to hear, because that's the way things are. Though I digress. She's telling me how one must learn to let go and to let God do what God is doing. And when you do, you let go, you let God do what he does. He can do things you can't because he's God and not. And I'm not. But I oftentimes get myself in situations where I am trying so hard and getting nowhere. And I try and I try and I try. And I get nowhere. And I'm realizing today that I think God is calling me to rest. There's a series of passages that I'm going to read, the first of which is Psalm 47, and I will read the whole thing as it is 9 verses. And it says, "Clap your hands, all ye people. Shout to God with loud songs of joy. For the Lord, the Most High, is to be feared. a great king all over the earth. He subdued people under us and nations under our feet. He chose our heritage for us, and he, the pride of Jacob, whom he loves. God has gone up with a shout, the Lord with sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God, sing praises. Sing praises to our King, sing praises, for God is the King of the earth, and sing praises with a psalm. God reigns over the nation, God sits on his holy throne. Princes of peoples gather as the people of God and Abraham, and the shields of the earth belong to God. He is highly exalted. The reason I wanted to bring that up is because that shows us the joy that comes in living with God, to sing praises. And the part of me that struggles with that is I don't remember the last time I was, actually, that's not totally true. The last time I was in the mode of, it's time to give praises. It feels, honestly, I've been walking through the valley for a long time. There's been times of occasional joy, but the road largely has been through the valley as of late. Not only that, it's raining in the valley and the water's rising. I'm going to go one chapter back to Psalm 46. I'm going to read this one as well. God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help untroubled. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though its mountains tremble at swelling. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God will help her when the morning dawns. The nations rage, the kingdoms totter. That he utters his voice and the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob our fortress. Come and behold the works of the Lord. Now he has brought the desolations on the earth. He makes war cease to the end of the earth, and he breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. And I will be exalted among the nations, and I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. The reason I bring that up is because it does feel like the earth is shifting, that things are hard. Things are hard. And to me, that suggests that no matter how hard they get, we can rest knowing that God will show up. So there's joy in the Lord. There's deliverance from the wars and the consternation of life. I'm going to skip out of Psalms and just read a couple verses in this one in Proverbs. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. That one's a hard one for me. Though it's like the foundation of verses. Just trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. My own understanding is rough, and it makes things look rough, and everything seems rougher because of my understanding. And there's enough understanding to know that I don't know anything. All of these things go crazy inside my mind because there's so many different parts to juggle and to think about, and it just becomes this huge mess. And then it's saying to trust in God. Trust in God with all your heart. God is the one that delivers. Psalm 46. Take joy in the Lord. Psalm 47. I'm going to get one more verse. It's going to take me a second to flip to it because I didn't have it marked. It's Matthew 6, 33, I believe. 31 to 33, and it reads, Therefore do not be anxious, saying, What will we eat, nor what will we drink, or what shall we wear? For the Gentiles seek after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them all. Seek first the kingdom of righteousness, It's the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added to you. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will have enough anxiety for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Don't be anxious. Someone said once that when God was planning your life, he already factored in your stupidity. Don't be anxious. What will we eat or what will we drink? The Lord already knows all of these things. Don't have to be anxious because God already knows. And so we should be able to trust him. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Because God is the God who is working for you beyond your power. Psalm 46. Therefore take joy in the Lord. Psalm 47. I think I, in a lot of ways, have come to the end of myself. And a wise man would say that when you come to the end of yourself, that is when you find Christ, when you find the Lord. Like Razak said, sometimes you have to surrender to God and trust him. Well, I suppose it's time to do just that. But with that, taking a moment of respite to find rest and to let God fight the battle. My name is Colin. This is Life of Logos. We'll talk to you next time.